There's lots of things in life that we do without ever giving it a second thought, and things that weren't always easy to us. And there's also lots of things that to many of us may actually seem virtually impossible. And maybe they're not that either. Hey everybody, it's Ed the Trainer. And we'll take a little bit of a deeper look this week on Tips on Tuesday. So if you've followed us week to week, you know by now that my youngest has been all about doing things by himself for the better part of a year now. And he's a pretty independent guy for nearly 5 years old. And in my honest opinion, I think he's a little bit too fearless for my liking. But the other day I was reminded by him again that it's usually all about perspective. So let me explain. Our mornings at the house are like many of yours that have young kiddos at home. They can be pretty hectic. And part of that chaos usually includes getting everybody dressed in the morning. And it's not so much that our older two need any help whatsoever, but we're definitely beginning to have more and more of those days that start with the I have nothing to wear meltdowns. I'm not sure if anybody has any experience with that. But my little man, on the other hand, he's the trooper of the family, and he hardly ever wants any help whatsoever. And he'll struggle his way to getting ready all by himself. So the other day I walked into his room and I saw him sitting on his bedroom floor getting prepared. He had his pants laid out perfectly out in front of him. And he began to carefully slide his right leg into the pants and then his left, all while sitting perfectly balanced on his bedroom floor. And then he rolled over to his side to stand up and button up. The whole time with a lot of deep breaths and grunts to get himself together. You see, for him, this is quite an accomplishment, right? I mean, certainly it's something that he won't give a second thought or very few thoughts about several years down the road. But, it's interesting for us today. If something we were involved with was as challenging in our current worlds, would we be as committed to getting it mastered? I mean, listen, if you asked me to put my left leg into my pants first instead of my right, I'm certain that I'd fall flat on my face because that's just not how I learned as a kid. I was a little bit backwards, I guess. But if I had to do it now, eventually I'm sure that I could probably switch it up. And for the record, there's a lot of days that I have to take a lot of deep breaths as well, trying to get my pants on. The point today, in a lighthearted way, is just to remember that the things that we once considered, in the words of my 4-year-old, to be super hard can become normal, easy tasks that we never even need to think about. We just have to be willing to stick to it, to not give up, and get good. It's not impossible to learn and grow and get better at something no matter where your starting point. You just have to be committed, and you can do it. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me today, everybody. I really, really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.